You spoke yesterday about kind of rear grip, and Miguel was just talking about saying it seems to be more of a software thing than a hardware thing. But I know also that you're kind of trying to get the bike turned earlier in the corner, so you've got more space to get on the gas. So can you talk a bit about how you're getting around that whole thing?
The big thing that we've been looking for, well, that I've been searching for a little bit, is just when I crack a throttle, I want to go forward. And at the moment when I crack a throttle, the first thing that happens is I start to spin and I break traction. And I'm sure, as you know, as soon as it starts to spin, it's really difficult to get that hook up again. So that's one thing I've been struggling with, but it's been the second half of last year that was our main issue. When we got here, we have a complete different aero package, as I'm sure you guys saw, and in some areas it helps us, in other areas it makes things difficult. But it requires a complete different setup to make that work, and we haven't had time to explore and really try and get the max out of that. Whereas I did a little back check to our old bike, and over a lap, the lap time's pretty similar. But the thing is, that bike's been maxed out pretty much. You know, we've been trying to get the best out of it since late 2020 pretty much. So now the good thing is we're already at that level with this new configuration we have, and I think there's room to improve. So I hate to see myself back in 18th, but anyway.
Why didn't you finish that? I know that you were slower than the other 17, but
Yeah.
but where was the area that made it happen?
What, that's so far back?
Yeah.
I think it's a combination of things. Firstly, I don't feel I don't know how to explain it perfectly, but I was with this new aero package, it puts a lot more weight on the front of the bike, and we run at completely different heights and things, and we need time to really find the good setup for it, because I'm really overloading the front in the braking and entry, and also where you have a bit of speed when I close the throttle. Not easy either, because I have a lot of load on the front and I really feel on the limit, not going fast on the front end. And it seems to have taken away a little bit of grip, because we have a little bit more transfer as well. So I think we just need to work a little bit. We need to work and see where we end up. At the moment, we haven't really had a chance. We need it this afternoon to really do that.
Is there any advantage with the new aero, the latest aero? Does it help you anywhere?
It loads the front a little bit better, and I think we have better drive out the corners, because it does keep the front wheel down. So that is an improvement for sure. But there's also it needs to work as well or better in the corners too, where at the moment I find it's maybe been a little bit more difficult to get the perfect setup that we're looking for. But we haven't had time to really try things either, because it's just been throwing different things at it to try and find the best package before we really try to take the maximum from it.
Going into Mandalika next week, what would you or the team be changing? You as a rider, the team for the machine?
Well, I think going into Mandalika, it's important to really take each run when we find things that worked. It's important now to take all the information and start with the best package we have. I think we did a fair few runs where we figured things out, and now it's time to put it all together and see where we are next week.
Is it less than ideal that you're going to do all that at a new circuit?
It is a little bit. Obviously, it's new for everybody, and you need to set up your power levels and all that kind of stuff too. But obviously, that the team has under control, and it's just more down to, I think I need to personally learn the track, and we're going to lose pretty much a half a day just getting to a good level before we can start playing with the bike properly.
Do you do much homework? Do you watch World Superbike onboards or anything, or do you just jump straight into it?
Yeah, I mean, now is a great time especially now building up to it, to really go and have a look at all the videos and try and get the best idea possible. You know, I think as much as you watch and everything, it's always so different when you actually get on the bike for the first time. But it's so good to actually go there and have a clear idea already, or a good idea of how things should be.
Brad, you sound disappointed, or how are you? Is your spirit? I mean, how do you live here?
Well, I mean, I would like to have been more competitive for sure. I had high hopes for this test, but we weren't really able to execute them, I would say. I mean, in the once-off pace, I mean, okay, we're nowhere. We are 18th, but I think, you know, in a way, if we had a race tomorrow, it would be similar to last year, where we were able to still come through, because our bike doesn't work too well at the moment to really put a quick lap time in. But when it comes down to being consistent and just riding the bike over 20 laps, I think we're still pretty okay. So it's we need to improve it. And I mean, it's early days. We've had 2 days on the bike. So hopefully by the time we leave Madalika, I hope we leave there happy.
Do you remember how you finished here in 2020?
No idea.
I don't know.
Yeah, you know or no?
Yes, you were within less than a second from the top, and I think you were position 18 or 19.
Oh well, there you go.
So,
So we're consistent.
Right,
guys.
Thanks so much.
Just one more. Would you say the 2022 bike is easier or harder on the tires?
I'd definitely say easier.
So you're finding more feedback?
Yeah, I think it's easier. Well, it doesn't put the rear tire, it's so on the edge. I think it saves the tire a little bit better.
Right.
Which will be good at some tracks, hopefully.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.